Well, we've had some Toronto Raptors legends on this podcast, some Canada basketball legends, but this is the first time in the history of Canada's court that we are having a hip hop legend on the podcast. Shad has been making music for the past 2 decades. He's a Juno Award winning artist, and his latest album, Start Anew, is out now. And he's graciously enough given us the time to chat some hoops on the podcast. Shad, thanks for coming on.
Man, my pleasure. I'm always happy to talk basketball. Happy.
Awesome. Then you're in the right place. You're in the right place. Your new album is called Start Anew. The Toronto Raptors kind of feel like they're starting anew this season. Kind of a happy coincidence, or is this all part of the plan?
Hey, come on, man. You know it's part of the plan. I just got to time everything just right. No, yeah, Start Anew definitely came from looking out at our world, not basketball world, but a lot of things happening in society, a lot of things happening within us as human beings, I think, and just trying to comment on that. But yeah, no, the Raptors are in a season of change. It's not looking too bad. It's actually looking exactly how I thought it would look so far.
Yeah. This is kind of what you expected going in.
Yeah, 1,000%. Somewhere in that 500 range. You know, Bi giving us that scoring that we've missed for a while. There's a couple years there where I was like, we basically need DeRozan again. Like we need that
Mhm.
guy that can just get us a bucket when we're a little bit stuck. So yeah, it's looking like what I thought.
There's a lot of optimism on your album, which I love. Give me your most optimistic take on how this Raptors season is going to go.
Ooh. Okay, my most optimistic take. Well, I think Quickly is a winning player, and I think he's going to continue on an upward trajectory. Um, Scotty Barnes is going to take the leap that we've all been waiting for him to, really take into, that top tier, that real top tier. He's a great player, but that top tier,
Mhm.
and he has the tools to do that. Um, what else? What else can I say most optimistically? And then yeah, and then we make a bit of a run in the playoffs because it's wide open. I love the playoffs for that. You never know.
Mhm.
We saw the Pacers last year. You gel at the right time. You're healthy at the right time. Maybe we have another run. So that's
It
my
can
that's
happen.
my optimistic take. And yeah, the East is wide open. So why not?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with injuries to Indiana, injuries to the Celtics, a lot of those kind of big name teams are. There's some openings there. You're absolutely right. You mentioned last year's NBA Finals, the Pacers going on that run. Anyone who followed you on social media knows you were all over that series. What was it about that NBA Finals matchup that really captured your attention?
So okay, I'm like I really love basketball. So if you watch the way Indiana plays, I didn't start the NBA playoffs knowing anything about the Pacers, but you watch them play, and if you love basketball, you kind of fall in love with that team. Just the way they hit the ball. I think I tweeted at one point like the way that they move, push the ball ahead with the pass is my love language. Like it's just so beautiful to watch them. Just other team scores a bucket, they take it from out of bounds, they push it. TJ McConnell just giving you whatever 18 to 20 minutes of hell. It's just amazing, and the way they trust each other. Anybody could go off, whether it's Neesmith, whether it's Matherin, like it could be anybody's game. And Halliburton, I just love that leadership style that he has. Very Magic Johnson kind of, again, optimism. It's just like this optimistic,
Mhm.
positive kind of leadership that doesn't get celebrated, I think, enough in basketball culture. We love the Michael Jordan lore and the Kobe Mamba mentality lore, but there's other ways of leading. There's other styles of leadership that have been very effective in basketball. And one of them, you see it with Steph Curry, you saw it with Magic Johnson, you see it with Halliburton, is just this kind of joy,
Mhm.
playing with this level of joy and excitement. Um, Man, if he had one of the great what ifs, I think, in NBA history will be what would have happened if he had stayed for 30 more minutes in that game.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah, they were just they were so likable. And I think
Yeah.
about I recently finished watching the Netflix series Starting Five, which followed both Shay and Tyrese Halliburton. And you just really got it was a really cool glimpse into their life. And you really I kind of me personally, I walked away thinking, wow, those guys are just great guys. Like I could
Yeah.
really like they just seem like really wonderful people to play basketball with,
Yeah.
to be around. And that makes a huge difference on the court when you like the person you're playing basketball with. Now, I only ever made it to the high school level, but it was a
Mhm.
big difference when you had a guy on the court who you were like, ah, this is fun, compared to the guy who's maybe more negative, more selfish. You're like, oh, this isn't quite as fun anymore. That makes a difference on how you play.
A huge difference in how you play. I've heard that from a couple people about Shea too, that he's just like really a good guy. Um, I didn't read this profile, but I guess there was a New York Times profile about him during that finals run because everyone's trying to get to the bottom of how he's so great, right? He's an interesting
Yeah.
player, different kind of style. Uh, he doesn't have some of those obvious characteristics of like great players, but he just dominates. And one thing somebody said, I think in that profile was that he's always known who he is as a basketball player. Like that kind of confidence in your own style of playing and who you are on the court. Yeah, I think that allows you to be a good teammate because you're not insecure. You're like, no, I know exactly who I am on the court. I know what I can do. And so I can kind of give that same confidence to my teammates. Like it's contagious.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love observing that. And Halliburton too. That's a contagious spirit that he has as a player. You see it with Steph in Golden State, where suddenly they go on a run and everyone's laughing and everyone's shimmying and everyone's, because it's actually contagious. And the negativity is contagious, but the positivity is contagious too. So yeah, I love watching those leadership styles. There's so much to like in those finals. Nemhard, watching him go against Shea and you just see him stone expressionless, like, yeah, I belong here.
You literally took the. I have a question list here. The next question was watching Andrew Nembhard and Shea getting to go at it. It's so fun as a
Yeah.
Canadian basketball fan to see all these. Even Benedict Mathurin too there, Lou Dort. Like, it's pretty fun for us north of the U.S. border here.
Oh yeah. Some of those Shea Nembhard matchups, like it looked like they were just after a Canada basketball practice playing some ones. Just the way that they both were so expressionless and they knew each other and they were confident. Both of them were confident.
Hmm.
Was really cool. Lou Dort, man, that's got to be the worst experience in basketball is being guarded by Lou Dort. Ugh,
The
awful,
Torture
awful.
Chamber is one of the best nicknames I've ever heard. It just fits it perfectly.
It fits it perfectly. You said you play ball, like when you have the ball against some immovable object like that
Hmm.
that's so strong and uses their physicality but is also quick is an absolute nightmare. Like
Hmm.
there's nothing worse on a basketball court.
And if you're someone like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, okay, or Tyrese Halliburton, I guess you're going to go at him. But for someone like me who's got no skills, I'm just passing the ball away. I'm giving up. You got me. I'm not. I can't do it that hard. I give up.
Yeah, and you even see, I love seeing this too, the respect that he gets, and where even those elite guys, if he's on
Hmm.
them, they're calling for the screen. Like, let me get a switch. I don't want this. I don't
Yeah.
want this.
No, thank
Like
you.
maybe I can
No, thank
score,
you.
but I don't want this. I don't want.
It's going to
Yeah.
be so much more effort to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that kind of speaks to this growth we've seen over the past couple decades of Canadian basketball. Really, since you started releasing music, they've
Yeah.
just been on a huge upward trend. What's it been like for you as a basketball fan to kind of see like the NBA and just basketball in general populated with more and more Canadians?
Listen, man, I grew up in London, Ontario. And when I was playing high school basketball, if someone from my town went to the States and made a D1, not even necessarily high D1, but just D1, we were in the streets having a parade. So it's like to see a Shade and Sharp it's like we prayed for this day, man.
Yeah.
This is crazy. A lottery pick from my town. You know, his high school was down the street from mine.
That's so cool. It's so
Amazing.
fun.
It's so fun, you know. Or Jamal Murray. Like I went to university in Waterloo and see this guy from Kitchener um, dominated the NBA Finals. It's so fun. You know, it's so
So fun.
cool. So
Yeah.
cool.
Do you think that, like, we've seen so many of these players, and then again watching the Olympics, they're not given the Canadian stereotype out there at all. Do you think, maybe that this rise in basketball talent has changed maybe how people view Canadians at all?
Oh, 1,000%, 1,000%. It brings so much of Canada that we all know and live and love, but puts it on a stage, puts it on a platform. Um, and I think it's a face of Canada. It's a side of Canada that has existed for a long time, also. But it's suddenly exported to the world. And I love the way that the players are carrying it and representing it. You know, Shea is very proud to be from Hamilton.
Yep.
You know, he doesn't try to. He's just clear about the fact that he's from Hamilton
Yep.
specifically. You know, and Lou Dort and these guys really representing Montreal in a particular area of Montreal, and so yeah, I love that these different pockets. You know, Drake has done a great job for Toronto and the
Hmm.
Six and branding that and putting that on a platform, but yeah, these players are giving a different face to Canada and especially to some of these different towns, London, Ontario, that have never been, on the map, especially in the basketball world. So yeah, man, I love that. I love that. And yeah, the stories, you've tracked them for a long time. Like I remember going to a BC high school championship tournament in like '07 and seeing Kelly Olynyk, right? And then to
Yep.
see him still playing 10, 15 years later. So yeah, no, I'm straying from your question now, but there's
Oh,
just a
it's
lot
good.
of joys. There's just a lot of joys to seeing, our Canadian players achieve so much, and it is giving a different perception of Canada out there.
Did you have to go up against Kelly Olynyk? Were you playing him?
No, 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 no. I graduated
Okay.
some years before that. A friend, yeah, I was just watching. There's some
Okay.
young
Okay.
guys I was watching, and yeah, he was 6'10", and he was the tallest and most skilled guy by far in that tournament.
That's a crazy combo. When
Yeah,
you're the tallest and most skilled, it's especially at that level, it's over.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was scoring 45 a game, and teams are scoring like 60. So yeah.
Okay, I've got a tough one here for you. We've talked a lot about Shea already. Um, do you think it's possible that he's won the Finals MVP, he's won
Mhm.
the MVP? Is he getting close to taking the mantle of best Canadian basketball player ever at this point, or is
Yeah.
that just recency bias cropping up here?
No, listen. Uh, League MVP, Finals MVP, both sides of the floor, and listen, and OKC's not slowing down.
No.
So my early season prediction was okay. Healthy Nuggets is the team to beat because they took OKC to 7 and they weren't even at full strength. But OKC somehow keeps getting better.
Yeah. Well, because they're so young. They're so young that like there's only one way to go, and it's up.
There's only one way to go, and it's up. They're young, they're hungry. This AJ Mitchell guy out of nowhere is like, okay, so now they have some other stud that no one had ever heard of before.
Hmm.
So, anyways, all that to say, yeah, give them a couple of championships. I think Steve Nash already like Steve. Maybe he's just
Did
being
he?
humble, but I think Steve Nash is already like, nah, Shea's the best
Yeah.
we've ever had. Um, but I wouldn't give him that title yet. I would say
Gotcha.
he's on his way.
Yep.
Another championship would probably solidify it. Another Finals MVP. But what Steve Nash did, not just like statistically in the MVPs, but he kind of impacted the history of basketball with some
Absolutely.
of the things that he did and the way that he played. So I think he still holds the title because of that.
And you talk about that contagious
Yeah.
positivity. I mean, he was the king of that, right? Like I remember reading the news story about how many high fives he would have in a game. Like that can't go under the radar either.
No, no, and just loved sharing the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he won MVP. He came to Phoenix and turned that team around from a basketball style standpoint, from a culture standpoint. Just racked up the wins because of how he played, but also his leadership skills. And what I love what he did for Canada basketball, even outside of the NBA.
Mm,
He really loved to play for Canada at a
mm.
time when probably could have used that time to rest or prepare for the next NBA season. He's like, no, I'm going to wear this jersey and really compete. So I salute him forever for that as well.
And that's been one of the, I think, like you've already talked about. One of my favorite things with this current generation of players is, like you said, they're all so excited to play for Team Canada. It doesn't seem like it's some sort of, you know, oh, they got to do this because we're a part of the country. We got to do it. No, they seem genuinely like that Olympics. Obviously, it didn't go exactly how we hoped, but that Olympics, they were all like amped up to play for Canada and represent Canada.
Yeah, no, a thousand percent, and it's cool. So I'm a basketball Wikipedia guy as well. I like
Oh
to
yeah.
dig in, and so it makes sense when you learn some of their stories, right? I think Kelly Olynyk's dad was like a college coach in Canada. Corey Joseph's dad was a big time basketball coach.
Mm,
Nemhard's, I think their family like runs Ontario basketball. Like these are
mhm.
basketball families,
Yeah.
you know, and have legacies with RJ Barrett, of course. His dad
Hmm.
played with Nash on the national team. So these are guys that have histories with basketball culture in Canada and the basketball community in Canada that's like really deep. So it makes sense that they want to represent for Canada. Shay's mom was an Olympian. You know what I mean? Like these people have some history with Canada basketball, with international sports, and so that passion is there. It makes sense that it's there. And so listen, one of these days, man, we're gonna get that
Hmm.
gold.
I think so. I think like even though again it didn't go how they wanted it to go, you could see that they were right up there with every single team in that tournament. There was no question that they were there to compete, and the ball bounces a different way a couple times, and they're there.
Yeah. Sometimes I watch old, like I'll watch Dream Team games on YouTube. A lot of them are on YouTube, and just see how far international basketball has come. I mean, the Dream Team is the greatest sports team ever assembled, but to see, I mean, this USA team is not like they were any slouches here. You're talking about
No.
LeBron and Steph and KD, and they still needed Steph miracles to
Hmm.
win, right? So
Yep.
global basketball, including Canada, is right there on that level now.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Um, as I mentioned off the top, your new album "Start Anew" is out now. It's got a bunch of basketball references in there.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin, Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant, of course, Scotty Barnes. Is there a player you could see yourself working into the music? I know it's probably hard to rhyme
Yeah.
much with like Colin Murray Boyles, but I'm confident in your abilities.
Listen, so in the bars and barbecues where I reference Scotty Barnes because I'm doing this
Yeah.
whole rhyme scheme. I'm not sure the name of the poetic device where you use the beginning of the word instead of the end of the word. But I'm saying stuff that starts with bar, and I say Scotty Barnes, and I was gonna throw in Will Barton,
Oh
but
wow, that's a deep cut.
I was like that's too much of a deep cut. Yeah, I'm like only people that listen to your podcast are gonna get that.
Well, we're glad you're sharing it now. You shared it in the right spot, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been a mega deep cut, but we would have appreciated it over here for sure.
Yeah. There's a lot of players I'd love to reference. I've thrown in like some deep cuts in the past. Like I don't know if people remember Khalid El Amin, who was his
Oh,
point guard for UConn
yeah,
back in the day. He's like a real fan favorite type of guy.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of what other deep cuts I've thrown in. I should throw in Sam Cassell because I've been told that's my most doppelganger like basketball
Oh,
player. So
yeah.
I should shout him out at some point. But yeah, Will Barton, I had to leave that on the cutting room floor because it was just a bit too obscure, maybe, especially for Raptors fans, because
Yeah,
he had
yeah,
with us only a short stint.
very short. You could do like Ed Sheeran did the video with I forget the guy's name, the actor who played Ron Weasley in Harry Potter. You could do a music video where you get Sam Cassell in there.
That would be so dope. That would be
That
so dope.
actually leads me to my next question. If
Yeah.
you could compare your rap game with an
Mhm.
NBA player's basketball game,
Mhm.
who would it be?
Ooh, you know what? Sam Cassell's not a bad comp.
No, I
He's
agree.
he's actually not a bad comp. Um, he's because he's like fans know him.
Yep.
You kind of got to. He's not a household name,
Hmm.
but if you're like a hoops head, you're like, oh yeah, salute Sam Cassell.
Yep.
Um, he's had like one of those sneaky good careers.
Yep. I
You know,
agree.
sneaky good careers. I think he has like maybe one All Star nod. He's got a couple championships.
Hmm.
Um, I
Crafty
was,
with the ball, clever. Like
yeah,
he's
that's
got
right.
that.
Yeah, yeah, crafty, clever. Bit of that old, almost like came into the game with some old man game. I feel like
Hmm.
I also started like I've been old school kind of from the beginning,
Yep.
and I think that was Sam Cassell too. Seems like he kind of came in already with the MIDI and some of the like tricks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think it's a perfect comp. It's the
I
perfect
think it's
comp.
a
You
good.
got it.
I think it's a good comp. Yeah,
That's a good answer.
yeah.
Um, I was thinking about your song "Happiness"
Mm,
just as I was getting prepared for this. Like it feels like it's a really relevant song for sports fans.
mm,
You kind of talk about how we handle defeat, how we overcome obstacles. I think about the World Series loss we just watched with the Blue Jays. The past couple seasons for the Raptors have been tough.
yeah,
What's the importance of going through those kind of hard times, both as a sports fan and
yeah,
just as a person in general?
yeah. So I always say my two best teachers in life have been music and sports. And one thing I've learned in music, and you learn this early on as any kind of performer, is you bomb or you have a terrible show or whatever. And the
Mm,
important thing you learn through that experience is whether or not you really love it. And I think it's a similar lesson in sports. It's like you go through that heartbreaking loss, whatever. Do you want to play tomorrow? Or are you done?
mm.
You know, if you want to play tomorrow, you're a real one. You're a real one. And now not a whole lot is ever going to stop you because you've gone through that, right? Um, and it's all about how you respond. It's all about how you bounce back. I was just on the this Raptors podcast here in Toronto with Matt Bonner,
Hmm.
and he's a Raptors legend. But I was like, dude, salute for your Spurs days
Those great days.
because that 2013 finals is one of the most heartbreaking. Like it's on par with the Blue. It's beyond the Blue Jays loss actually in
Yeah.
terms of pure heartbreak and pure
Hmm.
unfathomable. Like how did we lose that?
Yeah.
But then what they did the next year was come back and slap the hell out of Miami. Like
Yep.
like
Yep.
that was punishment. That series was more than just victory. Like they punished Miami.
Yeah, that was revenge. That was
That was
revenge for
revenge.
sure.
Like that was uh, what they did to Miami in that series was awful. I
Hmm.
mean, humiliating.
Yep. Big
Um,
time.
big time. But that, I think one of the great gifts of sports is you put that on a platform, that bounce back. Kids see that. I saw that. Kids see that. Like, this is how you respond.
You feel like you've had a moment in your career where you've had to kind of have that bounce back, where you've had to realize, okay, I do love this, and
Yeah.
this is why I'm keeping going.
1,000%. So right from the beginning, like I said, my first show, my first shows, my first couple years, 2, 3 years of performing, like 1 in 5 shows would be good.
Mm.
4 out of 5 would range from terrible to okay.
Not great field goal percentage.
The very bad field goal, but you learn that you have fun every time. Now,
Hmm.
even within those, there were some that were particularly bad. I remember one show. It was like my first headline show in Toronto, and it was this whole small club, but it was full.
Hmm.
We invited everybody out, and I really didn't perform the way I wanted to
Yeah.
perform well. And I remember having to go, okay, what lessons can I take from this? And sadly, the way it is with human creatures, man, that's how we get better.
Yeah.
That's how we get better. That's when we get better. My first ever battle, lost in the second round, and learned more from that about performance than anything else.
Wow.
Learned about what it really is involved with performance and what really matters and how to really do it. Those losses are where you learn things. And the nice thing is that as that happens and you accumulate those experiences of falling and getting back up, um, you learn that that's how it goes. It's
Hmm.
like that epic Giannis speech that he gave after losing in those 1 year in the playoffs, where they're
Oh
like,
yeah.
was this the disappointment? He's like, disappointment is like losing is part of this, is the game, is part of the game. It's
Hmm.
not disappointment, it's part of the game. And so I've learned that through enough experiences that, like, there's just good days and bad days. There's no way around it. Some shows you're on, other shows you're not. And it's not a crisis. It's just you're a human being. Some days you feel great, some days you don't.
That takes some serious wisdom to come in like that, right? I think there's a lot of people who, even if you love it, you might not see it as learning opportunities, and that's really what kind of distinguishes both artists and basketball players from the
Yeah.
people who are going to make it.
Yeah, yeah. And you learn that you have to accept that you're a human being. That's a cool thing about music, man. Like, I go to the studio and I have this great idea for a song and I feel like the greatest artist in the world, and then the engineer hits record and then I start doing my verse and I hear everything I hate about my voice. I hear all the flaws in that verse I wrote that I thought was amazing. And then you begin the real work of trying to build, and you also in the end have to accept certain things about who you are as an artist, about your voice, about your style, about your limitations. And I think it's the same thing as sports. It's a good thing. You learn to accept who you are. Like, even if you're Michael Jordan, you learn to accept, no, no, some days I'm going to go 2 for 20 from the floor. That's just part of being a person.
I think that's every day for my basketball career, 2 for 20 from the floor. But that's okay. That's why I'm doing podcasts and not hitting the court right now.
Yeah.
But no, you're absolutely right. And if it was easy, then it wouldn't be very satisfying.
No, it wouldn't. And that process of, exactly, the process of getting better and the fact that it is a challenge is what makes it interesting. Um, and also this thing that you learn about getting good and whatever you are, because I'm like you, I love basketball, but like I'm not good at it, like I'm not great, like. So what happens with that is, some days you'll go to your league game and you're hitting everything,
Yep.
and then the next 3 weeks you're cold, and but what you learn when you're good at something is you learn this thing of, like, your floor gets better,
Mm.
right? So those bad days, you learn how to make those bad days, like, better.
Yeah.
A bad game for Michael Jordan, he's scoring 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so, like, that process is also so exciting in terms of when you develop a skill, whether it's music or basketball. You're like, yeah, no, I've learned how to make my bad days better, and then my good days, like, great.
Love
Um,
it.
and then and to have more consistency and stuff like that. All of that, man, is just one of the joys of life. You know what I mean? To just work at something that you have a little bit of natural aptitude for and get better.
Okay, we've talked about rap, we've talked about basketball. A lot of NBA players over the years have tried their hands at rap. Damian
Yeah.
Lillard, Lonzo
Yep.
Ball, Shaquille O'Neal. Who do you think is the best NBA rapper of all time? Who's made the best music while still being able to dominate it on the court?
I would say the consensus seems to be Dame Lillard, and I would agree
Mm,
with that. I would agree with that. But you know who's underrated is Shaq.
yep.
On Not the greatest lyricist of all time, but there's some charm, there's some
Yep.
Shaq joints, and he had a couple real tracks too. Um, Towards the bottom, I gotta say, like, because I love him as a player, but sadly, like Chris Webber is not doing it for me. Like
No,
as
no.
a rapper, um, Aaron Gordon also had a track. He put out a track
Oh, I
about.
haven't heard that.
Don't listen to it. He put out a track about being robbed in the dunk contests. It was not
Oh,
great.
that's a good
You,
one.
you know who's dope? You know who's dope though as a singer is Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Big time.
I was shocked by that. Could not
Same.
believe it. But
Same.
A plus.
I almost had to put it somewhere else in my mind. Like I can't really deal with this.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. It's pretty impressive to be able to sing like that and then dunk like that. That's a complete package in my books.
100%. 100%.
Shad, it's been so much fun talking to you. You've clearly proven your basketball Wikipedia knowledge. There's no question about that. And I think anyone who's listened to this podcast should go out and listen to your new album too. It's a lot of fun, and
Dope.
I really enjoyed listening to it. And have fun on your tour. I think you're starting that in a couple months, right?
That's right. Yeah, we kick off in January in Vancouver, and then make our way over to Ontario in February. Yeah.
I had like a number of questions about Vancouver basketball and getting an NBA team, but I don't think we got enough time. But it's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you, Shad. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Man, thanks for having me.